Good morning, it's me again, Conrad Vargas, the Old Desert Naturalist. Today's show is going to be on Indian artifacts. Now, we're not going to go through the whole gambit of artifacts. We're just going to go through a couple of things here in front of me on the table. We have some grinding tools here. The stone that they grind on is called a metate. The stone that they use to grind is a pestle. Here is one over here that was actually a cone shape, and they ground it with this tool here. They actually cut all the way through this particular stone. There were 3 pieces, we could only find 2, and we looked everywhere. This one actually has 3 notches in the top of it, and I think that that's telling them who owned this one, because each one of these was private property. Now, here in the valley, we have mesquite trees, and the berries were very, very popular. The seeds were very popular for eating. The Indians ground the mesquite beans into a powder, a paste, actually. And going up into the mountains, they could get acorn from the oak trees and get the pinon seeds. And if you've ever had pinon nuts, you know how good they are, and the Indians loved them. So there were quite a few things that they could grind on these, but those particular things here in the valley were about it. The trees actually were owned by individuals of the family. And if you came in and you took some of the beans from somebody else's tree, you could be in a world of hurt. So we have at least a dozen of these around the place, but you only need to see these 2. Then here is an Oya. This one could probably be as much as 500 years old. We know that the Indians lived here and made pottery when the sea was in here. Now, it's interesting how these were made. They were not made by just taking clay and building it up. They actually took beads and kept building the beads up around and around and around this Oya. When they moistened it, they could work the beads, and as the sun dried it during the day, they could probably put this together in one full day. Women did all of this. Now, a question came up one time about, do they plug the top of this? I have never seen a plug that they put in top of this, and I've never heard of anyone saying they have seen a plug. And if you've ever seen a plug, let me know. These things carried both grain or water, and these things, when they make them, to fire them, they build a fire and got it extremely hot there in the coals. And if you look, you'll see dark spots on here where the firing process from the charcoal actually fired it. And when they take it out, it's extremely strong, but they're brittle. You can put a lot of stuff in it. This one weighs about 6 pounds, so it's light. And the kids carried these with water in them to the hunters, or in the case of the fish traps, they carried it down for the kids or boys that were working the fish traps. This one is, we've had about 6 of these, and we've given most of them away to museums. So this is the only one that I have of this nature. Then, this one is quite modern, but this shows how, by taking the beads and working them around and around, the person who made this one put a print on it as he forwarded the bead around, and then when he came to the top, he smoothed it. But on the inside, he decorated it. This was a gift to my dad when he was in South America. Now, next week, we'll probably show some of the artifacts that came from South America. This is Conrad Vargas, the Old Desert Naturalist, signing off from the Vargas Gardens in Thermal. If you carry it in, please carry it out.